Shit, I'm recording right here, so the place I used to live at, man. Right here. The first place I want to go to is I want to go to the Nakoma Drive, but I'm going to explore this neighborhood over here first. I'm going to use this scooter right here. I'm going to show you around in this area. Man, I used to live here, man. Shit. God dang, man. Does it bring back memories? Yes, it does, man. Shit, over here. See, that was my house right there. My childhood house. It's right there. And this was my... I remember a person by the name of Chad lived right there. Shit, my dad built this. My dad is the one that built this, the little sidewalks going up into the porch there. This was Christie's house. Shit, man. I remember some of these like areas over here. I tell you, man, it's a trip, man. And I remember that I used to always hear a train back in the day. I used to hear a train, and I guess there's a train tracks behind these houses here. You know what? I never used to go this far while I was a kid riding bikes, or I never used to go this far. Trip on this, man. I'll just explore it a little bit. God dang, man. Well, I don't really have any memory over here because I did not used to hang out in these areas. I used to only hang out as a kid, like talking about like being 6 years old and stuff, 7 years old, 8, 9. I used to only hang out like in my immediate part of the house and area. Shit. My childhood area, man, where I lived as a kid, man. Yeah, I lived right here in this area, man. God dang. Remember, we had friends that lived this way. We had friends that lived this way. You know, I can remember those days. And I can also remember some days that when I used to, when I went home one day, when my dad was taking us home from, like, after I bought my first tape recorder. When I bought my first tape recorder, he went this way, and I made a recording using the tape recorder while we were going this way, and we saw kids playing baseball over here. Shit, it was way back in the day, man. And I have that recording too. Gotta check if my camera's recording the way I want it to record. I'm gonna check. Oh well. So it's recording, so well, I guess I'm gonna continue. Hang on. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, my neighborhood, man. My old neighborhood, man. My childhood neighborhood, and then totally. Now, I know we had neighbors, we had friends that lived in this area, you know. This was way back in the 70s. This was the 70s. When I lived here in the 70s, you know. think I gotta clean the lens here. Gotta the lens is clean here. Hang on. I just touched the lens on the camera right now. I want to be sure it's clean, you know, before I continue. There's my car. Yeah, so right here, man, this was my neighborhood, man. I lived right here, man. Fucking right here, man. Christie's house. I've been in the house in my childhood days. Shit. And then over here, that was Chad's house. And I think this was Louie's house. Louie's. And then I think Jeffrey's house was over here. And we didn't know anybody over here. And I remember this street right here, man. I remember this was across the street, you know, and I remember when my teacher herself had to give me a ride home because the bus was not able to take me home or something, and then she went that way. She went this way. She asked me if my house was left or right, and then I told her that my house is actually that way, and so she had to turn around and everything. So yeah, god dang, man, more of my neighborhood over here. Well, I did not know anybody here, but yeah, now these are nice. I would have loved to have one of these when I was a kid. I tell you, shit, I wanted a house like this, like one of these 2-story houses, shit, as a kid. So yeah. Yeah, man, trip on this. So I want to go ahead and cross the street. Totally, man. All right, here, my neighborhood. God dang, man. Jeffrey, man. I remember when Jeffrey, man. And then Kelly, I think I don't remember which one of these houses. I think it was that one right there. I remember Kelly. I remember a guy by the name of Kelly. He lived over here. And Barbara, you know, this lady Barbara used to take care. He was our babysitter over here, you know. Let's take a video, take it off. So yeah. Okay, now the next stop I want to make, it's over on, I want to go to Nakoma Drive. Shit, I hope I have the batteries. I want to go to this place here. I want to go here, Nakoma Drive, like where I used to live. Okay, how do I?
Left onto West Segerstrom Avenue.
And along the way, I'll remember Segerstrom Street. And then I'm going on Segerstrom Street, and then I'm gonna make a turn on, I don't know, yeah, it's easy. Edinger Street. Remember Edinger? Okay, I'm gonna be going on South Fairway, Segerstrom. Pretty easy to get there, apparently. And then I'll be getting on Highland Street. Funny. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. And I'm gonna use the scooter. God damn. Well, over here, I mean, there was no houses here before. There weren't any houses here before, back in the day. There was no houses, it was dirt. It was all dirt before. And then I remember Louie's dad used to have a big rig, you know, he owned a big rig, I guess. He owned a big rig. And he used to park in the, you know, on the side there, you know. Yeah, and over here was dirt over here. It was all dirt before. I don't know about this area. It probably was dirt too. And I remember, I distinctively remember that. That it was all dirt over here before. Wow, this was in the 70s, you know. Yeah, things are a little bit different here, I would suppose. I want to go to my ultra childhood home. Hell, there was a broken window there. Shit. We gotta go back there. I gotta check it out. Look at a broken window in Santa Ana. I would never think of being anybody breaking. I would never think of anybody breaking into cars in this street, in this city, you know. I guess crime happens anywhere, man. Even in the nicest areas, you know. I don't really distinctly remember this area, but but yeah. You know what, as a kid, what I remember as a kid, I used to think that everywhere, like the whole city was huge. But when I look at the city and all the places that we used to hang out at, they're all like that's nothing compared to the experience of life I've been through. You know, I mean, that they're really close together. You know, all of these places are within probably like 5 miles within each other. But back in the day, you know, like shit, it made me feel like it was hundreds of miles apart. You know. It's a nice little scooter ride, man. This is a nice ride on the scooter. It's a nice way to do the tour, actually. Yeah, plenty of memory on this card. I have a 128 gigabyte memory card. And I got 2 batteries fully charged here, so I'm exploring Santa Ana. Apartments. Well, it's funny because as a kid, I mean, it's kind of black. My memory is black. It's blank when it comes to like knowing the whole city, because my memory is only within my immediate neighborhood as a kid. So yeah. So anyways, so I'm going to the Nakoma Drive house. Exploring Santa Ana while I'm at it. I'll just go this way. So this is Santa Ana. Harvard Street. I wonder if this is one of the schools that we went to. Not really sure. I'm not really sure. I would have to confirm that, but I don't think so. It might have been a school that I went to, but no, I don't think so. So anyways, Santa Ana. So right now, St. Andrew. That kind of looks like some parts of my area, you know. Hector. Hector School. How funny. Yeah, it does kind of look like the parts, some parts in my area, my town. Edinger Street. Edinger Street. I'm gonna stop here for a minute. Let's see where I'm at right now. Edinger Street. Just within minutes. Yeah, Shakey's. Well, I don't know if that existed and then at that time. I know Shakey's existed in my days. But especially with the straw hats that they used to have. No, actually, that was straw hat pizza. Shakey's. I don't know if Shakey's was a straw hat pizza or not, or if they had their own facility or their own restaurant or something. It kind of looks like my area, kind of, sort of. Like some of the houses, anyway. Should have enough gasoline on my scooter. Well, I fully charged the scooter before I left, so. Oh, there's McFadden Street. Fairview. Well, I think the school Well, Diamond School might be around the corner here, so. It's funny because I can't even really distinctively remember most of these areas and stuff as a kid, you know. Not even when we used to ride around, when we used to drive around the streets doing our normal stuff, you know. I'm not watching, man. I have to check where I'm at right now. Gotta check where I'm at right now. I'm almost there. Wait a minute. Oh man, I passed it, man. Dang it. Will it? I already passed the street. Oh well. In fact, I'm probably gonna go back. I'm wondering, okay? Saying that I have to go this way. And Nakoma Drive, it's right here, man. I think it's just around the corner. Yeah, it's funny because in my days, I think right here is where the Nakoma Drive house is at. I think it's, is it this way or? The Nakoma Drive house, my childhood house. The house that I lived in when I was like 4 years old. I think this is the neighborhood. Yep, this is it, right here. Nakoma Drive. Shit, I lived here when I was like 2 years old. 3 years old, man. I lived right here, man. I guess the address is 606 Nakoma Drive. God dang, man. I remember I lived here, man. Shit, as a kid, man. 2 years old, 3 years old, man. I remember this house as a 3-year-old kid, man. And then I remember my neighbor, like I had a neighbor who used to have his little shows over here, like a puppet show. And my brother, you know, like was kind of spooked out by those puppet shows, you know. Yeah. Hector, I mean, I remember this, man. Shit, that was our house. That's my childhood house. God dang, man. Right here. And I remember that, you know, like one time that we came home to this house, to our house, and the garage was all busted and the whole garage area was busted. And then my mom, I guess, told me a story about what happened there that day. Someone crashed their car into the garage, you know. Apparently we weren't home that day. I remember the next door neighbor next door was Anthony. That was his name. We used to know this kid by the name of Anthony. He knew Anthony. That was his name. And then over here we used to shit, man. Now I remember like over here, like the ice cream man used to come by. Shit. Now I remember when I left a can, I had like a coffee can full of toys and other little things in it. And then being excited with the ice cream truck that passed by and stopped, I put the can of ice cream, or I put the can of little toys, a coffee can filled with little toys that I had of mine on it. I put it on the bumper of that ice cream truck one time, and then we got our ice cream and everything, and then just as the ice cream truck took off, that's when I realized that I left my coffee can full of toys in it on the bumper, and I never saw it again, you know, unfortunately. It happened right here too. And I remember our big wheels, you know, we used to ride our big wheels over here, you know. Damn, man, I gotta check my camera to be sure it's recording. Well, I know it is, but yeah, it is. Yeah, I tell you, this is my childhood house, man. I mean, I was only like 2 years old when I lived here, man. And then later on we moved to the Encinitas later on, you know. I don't remember the exact year, but I do know that in I know in the early 70s we moved there, and then over here. But I also remember, you know, the big wheels. We used to always ride our big wheels over here. What else do I remember? And I remember when I took my brother's lunch box and I walked down the street over here. And then when I came back, when I was going back, that's when I saw Hector. Like, it was over here when I walked, where I walked to with the lunch box. And then when I saw Hector, I got panicky, and then I didn't want Hector to see me with that lunch box because I thought he was gonna throw a fit. So I just stuffed it like behind one of the bushes and this in one of these houses, and then I walked home without that lunch box. And then the next morning, like Hector, like wondering where it was, and then my dad got mad at me, and they figured out that I took it and I left it somewhere. And another time I can remember, it was when I was walking home. Like when Hector used to, like, I used to go to this school, and it was close, really close. I'm not exactly sure which school it was. That was an old school car, I tell you. I don't remember exactly where the school is at, but I know it's just around the corner of here. We went, I used to go to, I guess it was like a preschool or something that I went to in my days. And I guess Hector went there too, and then Hector used to walk home. He used to walk home from school and shit, you know. And I wanted to be like Hector. I wanted to actually walk home. And I kind of actually knew my way home too, I mean. But when I crossed the street, when I was wanting to cross the street, I mean, I was too afraid to cross the street, you know. I was too afraid to cross the street. And so I never succeeded, you know. I never got home. I think it was probably around here. The school was probably around here, you know. Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm just gonna go this way for now. Well, I do know the school was just around the corner, you know.